In this first Tinkercad tutorial, I would like to show you the basics of using this online software to make some basic circuits for exploring in our technology class. I've already posted the need for each of you to go and get a Tinkercad account. When you go to log in, you should be able to log in under your Google account. And if I set this up correctly, you will find Grade 9 Exploring Tech as a class. And I already posted, if I go in here, I gave each of you a name and it generates a random nickname, and I posted those names for you. I gather this should work something like Google Classroom. So what I'm asking is you go in, and when you go in, I think it will show me any of the things that you've submitted. Difficulty, I was trying to practice submitting something and getting in there and see what would I see, and I can't submit. I should have maybe signed myself up as a student as well. But for the first assignment, I'm going to ask you to go in and make a simple circuit and then post it into the classroom under your nickname ID, pardon me. Some of you maybe have used Tinkercad a bit, poking around. It actually has over here on the left a couple of different areas that you can work on. Later on, if we get time, we're going to use the 3D design, and I want to get you to design some projects that we could use the 3D printer on. So we might make our simple keychain or something like that. I don't know. We'll work on that. But for now, I want to use the circuits option. And here we're going to do some electronics. And that's a chance for you to explore computer engineering, the TEJ course in grade 10, 11, and 12 that some of you might be interested in. It's more like the electronics, computer hardware side of things. There's another area called code blocks, and I played with it just casually, and I'm not sure I understood it, but it looks awfully familiar to the Sphero robot computer coding that we were doing. And if some of you have time, you're welcome to go poke around in there and see what you can learn. But for us right now in this, we're going to do circuits. I've been playing around and practicing, so I've got two old ones here I probably should delete, but I'm going to create a new circuit. And when I do that, you will get exposure to this workspace. And over on the right are a list of all of the different electrical components. Now, I tried to zoom in on my browser, and that's as big as I get. And I hope you're going to make sense of it anyways. There's different things down here, and I'm going to start with the 9-volt battery, and all you have to do is drag it over. And you can put it on the screen. There are some of these batteries, the little flashlight or pen light batteries or coin batteries. And then there's the old classic AA battery. If you highlight the object, it comes up here. You can give it another name, or you can press delete, whatever you want. When you have your object highlighted up here in the top left, you can rotate it around if you want to change how your circuit looks or trash it. And the next thing I want to do is you can annotate it. When we did computer coding, you had to put comments in of what you were doing. So I'm going to ask for each time you put in a comment. And basically it's getting me to get you to put in what you're doing in your circuit. It's just sort of explaining. This is the 9-volt power supply, and then you do that. It would be a bad idea to put a note up here. Who are you? Put your name on your project. Mr. Meyer. It is April, pardon me, my fingers, 2020. My first circuit. You can move that around, but that puts that annotation in there. I'm going to bring over a switch that I want, and I'll just put it in here. Again, I can change the name of it, whatever I want. Okay, I could call it, I guess, which one. Okay, just to keep track of what it is. So when I click on it, it comes back as that. I will annotate. What am I doing? This switch will control the electron flow in my circuit. So that's that. Now, what is it I want to do with my circuit? I want to make a very simple circuit like grade 9 science stuff, just an LED kind of light bulb. But I'm not going to use an LED. I could bring that over, but I don't want to. So I could trash that. I don't know why they do this, but you can view all of the components or just the basic components. And under all, if you scroll down under outputs, you will see a light bulb. So I bring the light bulb in here. And this is this is what's going on here. This is my load, my resistor. Okay. Another neat little feature again, that rotate tool. I can just rotate it around, and that just helps me make my circuit design. So I have the three parts of a typical circuit: a power supply and a load and a control. The one thing I don't have are the wires. And you hover your mouse over, you will see on the red, typically red is positive, black is negative. I hope you can see that in the video. You click over it, it says positive. You just click and you can draw a wire. So I'm going to draw it over to that part of my circuit on the switch. And then I can do one from this switch terminal or that connector to that. And then I can do one over to that. And this is the bad example. You notice up here when it's highlighted, it says green. I could change the color of that wire if I wanted to. It's up to me. I'm going to delete it all because I don't want you to do this bad example. Here's what I'm expecting. Oh, I just realized I forgot something. I didn't annotate my load. The load or the resistor in my circuit that takes out the energy as light and heat. You know that light and heat, I said that in my video. I'm going to just move that over a bit. Here's how I want you to draw circuits with wires. I would like you to try to make neat rectangular wires, and that will help in our understanding, hopefully, and makes it look like, oops, I can fix that. I can just drag that down, and then just to make it look right. And it doesn't have to be too fancy, but it just makes it look a bit better. Okay, so there's my circuit. I guess I should annotate, pardon me. What is it? These wires are the conductors that carry the charged electrons around through the series circuit. Now, why am I saying so much? Well, I'm trying to model what I want you to say. As a student, you're going to demonstrate your learning by putting in that descriptions of what's going on. Typically, in most circuits, the red wire is the positive wire. So it's positive to the load and then negative coming back because it's low energy or is carrying the energy back. So that should bring that back through. Last thing to do is up here, you can simulate what your what your circuit is going to do. So you click on that. Now the circuit is running in a sense. It's running. If I click the switch, it doesn't happen. What's going on? Oh, I know what's going on. If I zoom in at my switch, I didn't hook it up properly. Click here, the electricity will flow through to there. If I click here, the electricity will flow from here to here. If I hook it up like that, the electricity will never flow from this to there. How do I fix it? Well, I better stop my simulation. I'm going to move this over to here, and then I'm going to start my simulation again. There, the electricity is flowing. When I flick the switch, it turns the light bulb off. Flick it on and flick it off while the simulation is running. Again, this type of switch has 3 connections. So depending on how you hooked it up, I suppose I could have done this, move that over, and then connect it here and click it over. And again, when I start the simulation, there's no electricity flowing because the switch is on that side. Click it to there, and then goes into that side. Okay, so that simulation mode will let you run your circuit. Again, bring in the components you want, annotate them, rotate them, delete them if you make a mistake. You can change properties of each of them. You can simulate it and check that your circuit works. Once all that's done, the last part, that's where I'm stuck. How do I save this into that folder? And it says here, like a cloud base, it's already saved. So if I go back, I get back in here, and there's my circuit. And it has this crazy name, Smashing Crift. Tinkercad has a way of giving these random file names. So up here, I've learned I can do Mr. Meyer first circuit. But I still don't know, how do I save it into that folder? I have it and I can't figure out how to get it in there. I'm assuming there's some way to get it into there. And if any of you see it differently as a student as opposed to me as a teacher, that's the objective of the assignment. Go to the circuits, make your first circuit, and save it into that classroom folder. Okay, give it a try.